Sanje Chomdin de Longzi Nana, the Tism Sanje Tamjege, Trami Bangpolo Sakatri Samjege, Omate, Chobate, the Tism Sanje and Choba, comes from the same Tampira, the Hawaii,
Trahidele to all who are joining on the live stream and who are here in person. I offer you the Bangavin or Buddha accumulated the milk tea of loving kindness and compassion for countless eons. So I offer this to the 3 times of Buddhas, and also I dedicate it to the all sentient beings of 3 realms.
We welcome you all to the annual winter event at the Garchen Institute, and we are so happy and blessed to be all together to do this powerful practice of the Mani Drubcho. And we're all so fortunate to have His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche lead us in this practice. And our visiting Lama, Khenpo Dza Tsering Tashi, has come all the way from Australia. So we're very happy to welcome him here for this event. And our resident Lama, Khenpo Tenzin, and Lama Bunima, who will be the chant master. So everybody welcome, and we will officially begin.
In the concise Sarana of Chenresig, we'll begin.
Manam Khatanya Besem Tamje Deva Dante Nonga Danta Nurdulana Meva Yanda Bazobasan Yamboche Tobarsa.
All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
Sanje chudan sojen chonam la sanjo bardo dane japsum je dage jem sa jem besonam je rola pensa sanje de barsho.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Mai nong kha dang nyam be sim chen tham che te wa dang de ve jo dang de jo je dong ha je jo dang da wa jo je dong ha me be de wa dang man da wa jo je nye ren cha dang ni dang da ma nyo la ne bar jo je.
May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Rabza Shaje Saye Doje Yo Karbosa Togar Tamoja Yo Me Senten Beganzen Zembe Yonzo Tam Ye Mika Togar Dadan Shele Ye Druge Gorlevun Nujo Yarye Khan Nam Jo Jendro Sentient Pagbeka Dada Kunja Yedo Ram Jena Trendo Tam Je Samba Jembo.
Page 5. Ah. From the unelaborated, unperceived, and empty state arises my own body as the Noble One's primordially perfected form, brilliantly white with one face, 4 arms, and the legs in Vajra position. The first 2 hands are folded at the heart, while the lower right and left hands hold a crystal mala and a white lotus. The indivisible form of the wisdom being and the Samaya being is complete with the major and minor marks. On a mundisk at the heart is the letter Hri, encircled by the 6 syllables which radiate with light. These lights transform into the outer universe, into a boundless palace, and the inner sentient beings into the Noble One's form. All sound transforms into the nature of the 6 syllables, and all thoughts into the state of supreme love.
the people Tamata is the election, the inner train, tap the strong dirty chunky, Mani Drubandi, the Dublin Taro, Trite, the Marche, the Jet Taman, the Yamnoter, the Gower, the take it last of the Tamate, or generally, the whole thing goes to Paris, call the way,
After that, she did good dog.
Tashi dele
So Tashi Dele to everyone and here today. So today I'm going to speak about the Mani Drubwang practice. This is a practice that was started by Drubwang Rinpoche, who is truly Vajradharma. And this is through him it has spread around the world. And ever since then, it has become an uninterrupted practice for disciples. And so today I'm just going to, again, remind you of the key points of this practice. So we will start now. So.
Manga Malaysia, the Romaji Toksong, they get a year and out any Tasaja Lumbala, any Kopsara Togletini, Tomato, the Koshi, the Rayoma, you know, the chapter drunk or the Chang, water, Chang, Top Salatok, Marathon, Manatangere, Akashi, Korean Manatangere, Homan Home. The Marathon comes out of there, so they territory, money to cheat the Takasaka, Mantoya, the Tayore, the romantic love songs.
When I was in Malaysia, I met with a disciple there, and we talked, and he said that when he was with Drubwang Rinpoche, that in the Western people, he would always say that Drubwang Rinpoche would always say that in the West people they don't have a lot of a habit of just planting their butt on the ground and just sit and just practice and meditate. And Drubwang Rinpoche actually told them, just put your butt on the ground and sit there and recite the Mani mantra. The Mani is the Buddha. So recite Om Mani Padme Hum. And then this is how it started. This is how the Mani Drubchen began. It was with him saying, recite the Mani mantra. So this is what a disciple had said. So?
There is also the Jogo Genetzer, Tony Garnitary, or gave a constitution, you my pair couple, the Tamanya, the Drupchen, Nyam the Chigam, Tomato, Mandon, Data, Yapodox, there is a Drupchen and go so. There don't was so, the Yagi and your man don't share my Drupchen talk there, there is Lord, Gundason, at any, something Drupchi, Yere, Guri, something Drupchi. Joksum Sari Char no York, Nana, you think Gundason, the Koba, your man, Kotola, Gokadawasan, the Koto, Raman, or the Simpa Tamsilla, the Kasaka, the Chin, so, Robert let the Chin, my dear, so gore, you might get in Tonatini, not to Chin, to watch the tuna, sort of to watch the Chin go so there, the young Saja, my own. Pacher Duchi Jata took some sir, Pacher drop Sari, the Duchi Jajang bonus of why yes.
In the past, also myself, when I was still back in Tibet before I had arrived in the West, in other countries. So during that time, we actually had a tradition of practicing Drupchens around the clock, but this was a time where first there was not much practice going on. And so then I thought that these retreats, people don't really do a lot of these kind of practices, so it would be good to start retreats like that, Drupchens. And so that was the Mani Drubchen. And then I started to hold various Drupchens. throughout the year. And so that's also because people don't really know how to do a lot of other different recitations, and it's a good practice. So we would start to increase the number of retreats that we did. Sometimes we held 3 and 8 and 9 up until 13 Drupchens in a year. And we would sit there like statues day and night, and just basically always practice all the time. So during that time, people also didn't have too much freedom to do the practice, but there was, especially during the 3 months in the winter time, there people had some kind of freedom to practice, and so we would hold retreats there non-stop, really. And each of those retreats, these group chants, would normally be held for about 8 days. And when we would finish one group chant, one retreat in the morning, that same evening, afternoon, we would start the next one, and would just go on like that. Probably before I came to the West, I completed 113 group chants. So this is all before I left Tibet. That's so.
Jute chibo choksum yon tatel yada mangbo yore na tamche nyamni nyingbo ro kangre de teni talong nyamni je ne teni tumo gomne gawa je la tini teni rang sem ne rok ta jan teni sa ti yin zhu yin la je te je ma nyingwa ge ti yin zhu yin la je kong se jan ne teni ta yin zhu yin la je ti ba de ni ba ye ba ni ba Drupchen de ti lamba ye gomba tela tunetri ma Drupchen de litario reti.
There is the new Tantric system and the old Tantric system. In the new Tantric system, the Dharma, for example, we have up to 13 different classes of Tantra, and there are many different Yidam deities. And what's the essence of all Yidam deity practice? It really comes down to the channels, winds, and drops practices. They're all related to the tumu, practice of inner heat, where we experience and practice with the 4 joys. And that leads us to the nature of the mind. Then in the Nyingma tradition, we speak about the 4 stages of approach and accomplishment. These are approach, close approach, accomplishment, and great accomplishment. So it is through these stages of accomplishment, of these 4 stages of accomplishment, that the tradition of practicing a Drupchen emerged, because Drupchen literally means great accomplishment, which is the 4th stage. Also?
Oh, you know, the Gava Jetela Tini, Rev Karin Jongo origin, the Namjorja Rinpoche Yore, that Namjorja, Lang, also Sajachibogoma, Namjorja, some, the Namjorja party, Tambo Tse, or Sembene looked and Tong, Tong the Moshi. The little to Darjin, oh, Sembene looked, Tony, Sembene looked at it, you will do a talent, but the Tavares, or Sembene Namkana, the Tresong, Triti, Gilly, Rochexon, oh, Sanji, Semti, Jitipari Shaz. That I couldn't have Munanaji, Jetic Lamni Chasson, the same with Jetic Chipare, Sanji Semti, Chipare, the Rotexon, the Gomba the Tongo Yore, the little Rotek Gomba the Toll, the Telecoms, the Gomja go your Mary, the Carrier, semi, Yeri, Sanji, Geranji, and Beson, same the Tangmati, Chagong the Tangma Chores, or Tangma Chore. Bottom mark top with the body charum charum. Charum the three are took some subject the 2 hour. They shot on the 3. Charum jumped on the temper. There is some jail up with the edge. There was on the 3. They check to the rotate gomi jetty. Gavajet at your daily 3. Not some jetting a means of the calendar day or edge.
Then there's also the 4 joys according to the new tantric system. And what is the result of the fruition of practicing those 4 joys? So it leads to the realization of the 4 yogas, and that is related to the practice of Mahamudra. So the first one of those 4 yogas is single pointedness. So first when the mind is single pointed, you begin to see the nature of the mind. You gain a true insight into the nature of mind. Then second is the stage without elaboration, the unelaborated stage. So here you have seen the nature of the mind, and you see that it is free from any mental fabrications, any thoughts, any concepts of existence or non-existence. It is just like space. That's the experience. And then the third stage is one taste. And that is where you see that Buddhas and sentient beings have a single basis, a single ground. In the Samantabhadra prayer, it says, there is a single ground, yet 2 paths and 2 fruitions. So here you see that the basis of mind of all is one and the same. And then you habituate to that until you reach the 4th stage where there is no more meditation. There's no more need to exert yourself in meditation. You recognize that the mind itself is by nature the Buddha. So the stages you go through is like ice becoming water. So actually first it was water, it was water, and then that water froze into ice due to ignorance. And then in order to again melt that ice back into water, you need bodhicitta. When bodhicitta melts the ice, it becomes ocean water. It merges back into the ocean, and that is the Buddha. It is actually the Buddha. So those 4 yogas relate to the 4 joys, and these are the stages of realizing Mahamudra. And so this is how we practice the tantric classes of the new tantric system on the basis of this understanding. Yes, sir.
Tata, nga nyingma ta ni drabi na ta gawa ye namjor jaten reba kare yori dina sen de tri charum de tamu shong de tri chole je tri chote yang de tangman je tri chot tangma de tri lang mi ya zo to ko yori bela chota ka che tangma de chao na tri de ta tri ta se no tri ni no ta se ba ta de de nga nyingma ge jerem na tine tene semgerba te semgus sanang shi ngor te kamre dina malari be songle toni je sanang shibala salam direm ba me zeram si yena te lamta ta de wa chi jin de che song o te toni je sanang re shi de so selo choa re je ya yo re choa re je sanang shi de no re salam direm ba te se yo re song te so ma re.
And so in the old tantric system, we have the 4 classes of approach and accomplishment. And so how are they all related? Those 4 classes, those 4 stages, and the 4 joys and the 4 yogas, how are they all related? So first the mind is like ice, and it has to melt into water. And we do this over and over again. So that is when we purify the mind over and over again, it becomes completely pure. Just like when you melt water and then you purify it over and over again, it becomes so pure that you can even use it as medicinal eye drops. So that is the state of perfection, when you have reached the furthest limit, when the mind has become so refined, so purified to its furthest limit. That's the highest stage of accomplishment. And this is accomplished according to the old tantric system by practicing the visualization of the generation stage, we purify, we clarify the mind gradually as we visualize. Milarepa actually said about that the realization of emptiness, isn't it just the gradual clarification, awakening within the mind? However, he says, you need signs on the path to guide you, and those signs are like the ornament of practice. So that means that as you progress on your path of the visualization, there are certain signs or experiences on each stage that arise that kind of guide you, that show you that you are on the right track. Lasso?
Lamda chiva de kare kotish da koma. Lamda di de nang sem de lulu chang salunga de lulu chang we ti da de go yore ti. Lamda tamche chon do dina da ni yore. Ti da xejing derwa gomda ni mong me ba so tin nen do yore. Chu ma bo de lobjong che na ta chi ju de 어, 들보 시와 들어봤더니 근단 전바들이 차오거래 조람 잠시 소탈선 상신 인재용들이 근단 전바 차오거래 주다 시정 들어와시 나제메 너는 나제의 메들 첫인 자롱다 달로 가리 배주 동서거래 자롱을 대바 쭉 동서네 나제의 가리에 자롱다 거래 처이나 꼭 배주 동네 차고된 고르자로 타도고 도치바래 대도 대라서노다나 오 람다치바데 셈네 요고노데 셈데 시청 들어와변나 따따 유무바 단디 총아 삼제 치와 대로 차로 람다 토마데 대 람다데 람다다 제와시 진데 제송 대송 말해.
So what is this kind of road signs, these signs along the way? So when the mind relaxes and you see the mind, it's not some kind of outer sign that appears, but it's within yourself, an inner sign within the mind. And all the different signs, the road signs, so to speak, can be condensed into two. There's two main signs that occur on the path. First one is a sign of learning. Dharma learning is a peaceful and calm behavior. And second, a sign of meditation is an absence of afflictive emotions. So you may have studied the Dharma extensively. A sign of that must be that you are calm and peaceful and you're getting along with everyone, so that your behavior is very subdued and calm. And also you possess great bodhicitta and kindness for others. So, for example, if you have pride, that is a sign that you do not have such learning. If you have pride, pride is just like ice. Even though ice is actually water by nature, you can't really use it as water. For example, if you hit somebody on the head with an ice block, it's just like a rock. They will bleed, they will hurt, even though essentially it's still water, but it will still hurt them. So the sign of practice must arise from within the mind. The conduct, one's behavior must be peaceful and calm, and one's mind must be free of afflictions and self-grasping and full of love and compassion. So these are those ornamental signs that Milarepa was speaking about. That's all.
들이 좁어차 들이 좁어는 인생을 좁어는 이차 들이 이만 sem지와 차정때 니들 이나게 라를 당원 제와 차로 대서 그래 지다를 가래 그래 제는 건데 저 sem지 가래 sem는 제와 대서 제는다 sem지 가래 제는 좋다는 다 대고래서 제일 가려 공거들 님버 갑들이 라다 나고 탈라미 sem을 공터 양다 공나 람상 오 라다 나고 답지 런스 깨치길 공터 바코로 다진 힘발 접송지 제가 다와 같은 자고 공부 니바서 들리들이 당한 콜로콜 나 거든 콜시 봐래 차오래 내가 거든 콜고래 아무튼 콜로 어제 또서 봐 어제 또도 제서 봐 뒤에 당시에들이 네발니 봐서 제가 감비 레 거다고 공부 네발니 봐서 다주 아무튼 콜시 오서 공시나 다주 네발니 봐래 사디 네발니 봐래서 들이 잡부 포냥지 봤다고 공부 드바서 오 잡부 포냥지 가래 생함 챙텔레고 zen 춘에 생고만 추바 퍼다봐 생고만들 드바장 다디 장다봐 들때는 공을 째는 공들이 잡부 포냥지 봤다고 공부 드바디 다 드바 때렸다고 그래
And so then next, so in the old tantric system, we have the 4 stages of approach and accomplishment. And so, what are the signs of the signs on the path that we need to look out for here? So here, it is actually related to the generation stage, how we practice and visualize the deity. And so first, so the stages are 4 stages in familiarizing ourselves with the deity, coming closer to the deity. So first we recognize the deity, we acquaint ourselves with the deity. And so that is, we first visualize the mantra garland. We see all the syllables, so we slowly we enter our mind into the deity. So we see the deity. We try to visualize the deity and the mantra garland clearly. And that is the approach stage. So when you find that you see the mantra garland and the deity clearly after habituating to it over and over again, then you have accomplished the approach stage. And accomplishing the approach stage is just like seeing a garland of stars around the moon. So you see this garland very clearly. And then next, once that is clear, the garland is clear, then you begin to turn the garland. So it begins to rotate, and slowly first, and then it accelerates. And then finally, when it turns very fast, light rays radiate from that mantra garland. And so that is then the accomplishment, the close accomplishment, and the approach, the close approach, and the accomplishment. So that is just like a single kind of orb of the moon in the sky. And then the third one, the sending out of light rays, is like a king dispatching his messengers. And so then you habituate to that, and these light rays are sent out, and as you send them out, they purify the obscurations of sentient beings, and they make offerings to all the higher beings. And that is then when you accomplish the accomplishment, and then you merge your mind non-dually with the deity, and that then becomes the great accomplishment. That's it.
다들 드바데 기체모 드바감니 오 라는 고아지 차인 거를 드바감니 라는 대세인 보여와 사바 재미 제버감니 체미 참여 거래 오 잠보 조바 뭐라는 송을 Saba Chimikina, the English same to get Shenko, Tamil Chaptori, Shenko Mar Debachi Yori, Shenko Man Niji Yori, Niji Jesu Jata, Shenko Matabja, donate the Toyo Yori, donate the Togo Carrera, Maki Junjo Mona Tama Lord. Junjo Mona in Sinti really donate to Kona Potato and Chingy or this only, they donate the song, donate the hard quarter, or that number in the 17 times here. That Madonna Yobana is 17 times a bit, donate John the Torn. The military Niji or territory that drop a song. The donate Jokarity, that Jarity, David Jokarity. Something, that tourism, military Harry talk yore. Yeah, you mountain, Tato Lasovaga telling me something, Shedang, Sena, Tato to me something child. Oh, take a jet carriage. Take a jet me, Bartonga the money. We saw the Akron, she can't pay your money. Koto jetted the tassel, Koto Ramji, she can't do yore. Ramji getting new more Ramji in Solon Dogo. They have got don't shield. They take that guy go there. Same Gina paying or Sabachi go the old. Koto Danji the Mepartonga, something the Mepartonga the old. They did that in the semi and Revayori. The reason of down at the Tari the native United was that of the city take it. Don't import something. Oh. That is child of the chocolate, Yamagoa, Tate Mohakona, treated Tanyam non edge.
And the accomplishment is very important. So that's the part where we're sending out the light rays and gathering them back. And we need to really understand what that really means, what this visualization represents. So first, it comes from your own Buddha nature, and it is what is sent out is the love, your love and compassion coming from your Buddha nature that spreads out everywhere. The prayer for excellent conduct also speaks about that, about the importance of this immeasurable state of mind. So this immeasurable state of mind extends outward and pervades all. A sign of that is that you can feel compassion for all beings and devotion for all the higher beings. You can feel the suffering of all sentient beings. So that is prayer, the dedication prayer of the Bodhicharya Vatara, Chantideva's dedication prayer. Always encourage everyone to read that prayer, because this prayer lists each and every suffering, and it's important for us to know about that, to be aware of all of the different kinds of suffering beings experience. We have to fully recognize the suffering beings endure. All over the world, all beings in the world are immersed in suffering. And first we must feel compassion for that suffering. We must be aware of their suffering and feel compassion for them. And then I recognize why do they suffer, the cause of their suffering, and what is the cause of happiness. Cause of all happiness is love. If you have love, you are born, or beings are born, in the three higher realms as gods and humans. But if beings are afflicted, if they are full of hatred, greed, and jealousy, that leads to birth in the three lower realms. So if we want them to be free of suffering, they have to be free of the causes of suffering. We cannot just pull them out from the three lower realms and place them into the Pure Lands. This will happen naturally when their afflictive emotions diminish. When the afflictive emotions diminish, they will naturally come to the Pure Lands. So that's an important point to understand. Therefore, if we wish to benefit sentient beings, we need immeasurable love and compassion. We need to understand that they need to eliminate self-grasping. So they need love. We parade them with immeasurable love, with the four immeasurables. And so in the 4 stages of approach and accomplishment, in the accomplishment stage, when we send out light rays and gather and back, we have to bring this to mind, that these are the rays of love, and love is the antidote to all suffering. Or their minds is like ice, and love is like the sunlight that melts the ice. So that is an important point that we have to bring to mind, visualize, bring that to mind when we visualize the sending out of light rays. Hola, Sir Rinpoche.
Oi, three tata sentient tamjege, me songs of the donate, tan tone, tam zo in the chipote, they have on the you are charged. They look at it, that's how they jump in the travel. Saji jumped in the two carry love the dinner. Sentient nam the sangi, own your lover to me drives. Oh, lover to my race, the hagon, lover to my carry. Oh, the daji, no, the daji young Kagachai already. Church will take church, I think you're going, Sajet of the Japto de Deona, didn't Chagonte, like Ma de Mayan the Leverage. The Tata, the Ma Tamsi, Daddy, the Dashi, but the Kashi, oh, Dad, I was the Kalagasa, Ragazogore, they have the dark that was Mareti. That was Chung Chung Jackie, she was the loud of the Daji. That may bala Dada. That Krisho, the dark currency on you near Mary, better. That's our name. There is Sanjit, Sanjit, Sanjay, Tamotama Sanjay. Oh, the old lower to me, to my tail, Sar Sanjay, to my Karisa go to Tatili, or to my Dandy this Argoris. Dandy, the name I dubbed into Jones, the Lawrence. Dandy, the Mapaton, the Jim Hingalo. That's our choice. What time is our choice in jail and order to send you to get a pig dog? Carly save just body. The dog simply same that. Mag simply chipari. Not some taking, because some taking a territory, both the sort of same child, they were taking it. That's some taking the some taking that take or that's about saving go with those. There is about saving nation. This take the just what the promotion in Charles of the show. About this or Sanjay or St. G. Robert about Mama Sanjay, your essay, 3 out of the Gawalan, that out of your head.
So when we see the suffering of sentient beings in the 3 lower realms in particular, an unbearable great compassion should arise in the mind. Actually, it can be so powerful that it may even turn you a little bit crazy. So when that happens, when you go a little bit crazy, so then what should you think then? Then you should remember the Buddha. So what did the Buddha say? The Buddha said, all beings are actually Buddhas. They are only obscured by temporary stains. So then you think, oh, they're just temporary stains. So what is that temporary stain? So we have this dualistic concept of self and other. So it's this me, I. That is what separates you from the other. That is what makes the water become ice. Actually, ultimately, the Buddha said all beings are really Buddha. So ultimately we are one, but then, so first we are one, but then I started to grasp at me. And that is the root of all suffering, is this concept of me, a self. And that is the same in all the beings. So for example, we always want to protect ourselves. We want to take care of ourselves. For example, I need to eat food, I need to have clothes, and I need this and that. So that is all a way of protecting ourselves, looking after ourselves. But it's not the ultimate way of protection, so to speak. It's just a small way of looking after something. But the great way of protecting, which means all beings, is lost in that way. And then when you even though you think I want to protect myself, if I were to tell you, then go. If you want to protect it, it's got to be somewhere. So bring it here. Where is that self? You can't find it then. It's actually nowhere to be found. So actually, it doesn't really exist. The Buddha said all beings are actually Buddhas. So that is what we need to first understand. To begin with, we are all Buddhas. But then he said beings are obscured by these admixtures or temporary stains. But if these stains are removed, they are actual Buddhas. So then you realize, well, I just have to remove those stains. So what's the stain? It is self-grasping. All suffering without exception comes from wishing for one's own happiness, according to the 37 practices. So when self-grasping diminishes, bodhicitta arises. Or self-grasping diminishes if you cultivate an altruistic mind. And then bodhicitta arises. So that's basically a wish to benefit all sentient beings in the 6 realms. And you know that they can be benefited because the basis of our mind is the same. The mind of all beings in the 6 realms and my own mind are all one and the same. So that is also why when you love them, you will feel a feeling of happiness. For example, if you love your child, bliss or happiness just naturally arises because there's a connection there. And we see this connection if you cultivate immeasurable love. So when you understand that, you will feel, I have to cultivate that. I must meditate, I must cultivate this. And when it really arises in your mind, the mind becomes like ocean water, like warm ocean water that melts away all the ice block. All the obscuration is cleared away and you have become an actual Buddha. So when you see that and you see these suffering sentient beings, then you should remember that that is a temporary stain. They really are Buddhas, and in the future they all can become Buddhas for this reason. So this is what you realize if you bring this to mind. That's all.
Oh, that Drupchen told you already. That in Ban, you want to Drupa, the Sanchuk Temple, Doctor Talk, the Lamsang Sabat, Semi Jetaba, telling you Tibi Jetaba, Child Goretri, Sentini, Dongages on a Muching Taba, the telling Higit, the greater people have got an e. That Drupchen take over it. Drupchen carriage, oh, same tea, Tamsi, donating when they carried, lower charity. Sentient Tamsi, jelly sangeris. Chago the jelly church. Oh, Conto Tamsi, that don't need the carriage. Don't need the quarter Drikung Kagyu. Oh, the lot of water to Drikung Kagyu. Dear Tatani Koto Sangeris. Sangeris, search you, your shiver, your hakoto. The Lin Nasi, Taparam Jangason. The Lin Melinti Rinpoche. Shenpedi, Chaya Sumari. Nanda right some lang chukungang song. There is now a lot of one just Mataba Chicha and Haparam Janso. There is Jimlari song with any people to them jump to Rinpoche, each for a jury. Come some round, tongue Jaye Nas. Flat to some district new boy jokes. Gone the song young talk by Shen, Sutter daughter Yadam La, Jetter said a ching the people to them jump over during a young thing. Did a dollar, don't I you made on the sheet at Russia. Don't live safety, don't make check your mercy. Lower to about the charcoal, the shuttle, the your marriage.
And then we come to the Drupchen, the great accomplishment. And so at this point, you have already trained the mind in bodhicitta to the point where it arises instantly. The moment you see a suffering being, for example, or whatever you bring to mind, it be there instantly and fully. So, for example, when you see a suffering beings, compassion arises, even to the point where tears come to your eyes. So that is then when you start the practice of the Drupchen, the great accomplishment. So you see the suffering of sentient beings, and you have recognized what it really is a temporary state, because by nature, beings are actually Buddhas. So their mind is like water that has frozen into ice. And that is why they suffer now. And that suffering, in a way, is just like a washing machine. So it kind of they have the mind is dirty, like dirty clothing, and the experience of suffering actually purifies that again. It's like washing it clean. And after they have been purified, again, what remains is Buddha. That's their true nature. What they truly are is complete purity, all-pervasive purity. When Milan Drupchen passed away, he said this one verse, 4 words in Tibetan, but he said this one line just as he was passing away. And he said that appearance, sounds, and awareness are appear as the Dharmakaya. So it all becomes the Dharmakaya. And with this, he passed. So what it means is that there is nothing that is impure. Our true mind, in the end, is a field of infinite purity. And also, there's a song by Milarepa that was translated by Khenpo Dza Tsering, and this is like these translations by Khenpo Dza Tsering. I've read them over and over again and shared them because I find them very, very profound. And so in there, in this translation of Milarepa's songs, Milarepa says that within the palace of 3 kayas dwells the deity that is Buddha nature. And seeing that wherever I go, whoever I meet is the Yidam deity, wherever I go is the Pure Land, whatever I do it within Dharmata, within reality itself. So this is a nice song that I've shared with you over and over again. And so also in the Yamantaka practice, it says that ultimately there is no real object of compassion, no real object of compassion exists. So that all points to the temporary nature of states, the ice block that has to be melted. Lasso? Hola, Sir Rinpoche.
Oh, yeah. The leader, the tea, the Kwa Chang, oh, the Rinpoche, the sentient me, some Hago, the Rinpoche, don't Jaring, young maid, the Kova Tong, so Muni Kova, Madabare, the Tamasangi, the leader is not some Hago, the Drikung Kagyu. They take the answering, but the Boma Tantric Gomba, now I have a lot of data and hard Trico, now a lot, now I have to move on, Chima, Madaba, Jatu of a chat, or that there now a lot. They're currently Charlie took it, seems of Wachana, sent the Melon Tamasona, Nidi minute in Tamachangre, there is now a lot chataway. La carreta, the Chile, the Gong, Chile, the Tara, the Sham, the Mirta, something. Lamsalti, Melon, the Zunina is unsemi chataway or it. They do not make it, not make a terribly. My own, got that magic there, many days to marry. Not you, marry, not me. Chile, the Gong, carrying Jorga, there is a touch of lag on. Chile the Gontan, Ioman, Io Mary, Tidama, the sun, the Mamune, Meva, Chitan, Hakos of Eti, the Hakos on the Tassa not it.
So when to practice the Drupchen, the great accomplishment, this is the understanding that arises within you. So you recognize that within the mind, the actual ultimate mind, no real sentient being exists. So that is meant by that line in the Yamantaka practice. Ultimately, no real object of compassion exists. Or we also speak about stirring samsara from its very depths. So all of samsara does not actually exist. All beings are actually Buddhas. This is the understanding that arises when you understand, the nature of appearances, sound, and awareness. And this understanding of appearances, sound, and awareness is the intent of the realization to be gained during the Drupchen, the great accomplishment. During the great accomplishment, when we practice together, we become like a beehive, a disturbed beehive, all humming the sound of the mantra together. So all becomes the deity, all form becomes the deity, all sound becomes the mantra. What does it mean, for example, that all form become the deity? It means that you see that all form does not really substantially exist. All form exists just like a rainbow in the sky. And when you see that, anything can arise because nothing is so solid. If your mind becomes clear, that is free of dualistic thinking, if the mind becomes clear, then it can visualize, it can bring to mind, it can manifest anything at all. So today we manifest Chenresig in the Chenresig practice. For this, we have set up a Chenresig tanka. You can look at that tanka, close your eyes, and have that image appear in your mind. The image that then appears just like a reflection in a mirror. If that happens, that is a sign that you are free of self-grasping in a moment. Because when there is a concept of me, then instantly there's some kind of conflict, and you think that there's Chenresig and his throne, but there's only room for one and not two, so it becomes conflicting. But when there is no me and no you, then that conflict also does not exist. Then the mind becomes and manifests whatever it focuses on. So if you focus on Chenresig, you visualize Chenresig, then that is what you become, or any other deity. So that's the key instruction here. That's the key instruction of the secret mantra. You need to understand that the I does not actually exist. And so once you've understood that, when I ask you, so have you understood that there is no I, you don't exist? Yes, I have. If you can say that, then that is then you have understood the secret mantra. That is the secret mantra. That's so?
Garchi Tata Ta Septi Madab de Sanho Yikti Namju Sempi Yin, Sempi in the Dayi Yin Madab the Shelley. Oh, Takopare somewhere. Sitting won't see Malachi on a matic. Oh, Tako Chuluk the Zubari, that they chuluk the shape before the head of Sitting Walk or the Lapay or a cote, Muma de Ladita and or Labay. Mune Tachetanata. Oh, zo yo mare dena, shab ni bunne. Chu zo yo ka metal, zo yo chu dong la dong san dog zong de dog dong le. Chu zong san de zog de ka te de dog. Shog zong de dog. Double ni chu zog de dog wa ja de mi sere chok to sa yo mare. De la zog de san de ka de zog de juma ta ba re chi tri na ji re. Chu tho do re. De zog ni wala zog de pong wo to. 타르도 타펑더월이 롱제 잡타를 컷살이 요 말이지 다주 샘도 다 가리종 게 오다 예와스 좀나 라니 소디만은 류진 종강 남지 로버바 당준 종강 다오데 하코토도 왜지 or they have got to make it over. No hunger or later, Uncle Boy to no hunger or the Ludadi Chogri. They will not the answer. That's how go over take over. The Luba the Pashina, the non safety that the cardo. That is non safety that they look all of the Tenapala each other. They looked all the tobacco maize and Rochina and Yagasomari. Same with they looked all the Kanya you married. Same Kwan, minds of my dear, you are married. They did that to change it. That's a who the Jay Kang, now this and change last worker, that's all I get. Medicine told you about the Zujaman, the Jamipa. Oh, tell them, don't say. They have got the young the how go a chat. The young Salana. The Munir of the day palm taught over it. There is only 2 lots of shit on there. Same or taught on it. Do you go down and give me tell the talk and money? This chapter not got to the day to go it. Send not got to the day. 2 got a sang jay that they hate.
And so all beings do not inherently exist. And the outer universe and all beings lack any substantial inherent existence. And so when you say that, there's some people who think that is stupid. And how can somebody say that that doesn't really exist? So there is some who have a very strong belief in a concrete reality, in what they see in material world, and they think that this is all a lie. All religion is a lie. And in the past, during the times of the also barbarian views, some have said that religion should not be allowed. You should not be allowed to even say that, because that's deceiving, that's lying to sentient beings. But then, if you really analyze that and look more closer, you can actually see how form, for example, is emptiness, as it is explained in the Heart Sutra. So we say form is emptiness, and then maybe those people with those views, they may say that, well, you think it's empty, but here I am, and if I hit you, it hurts you, right? So how is it just empty? And however, then this is just a temporary appearance. You don't have this kind of control over all the form in the entire world. No one can comprehend or hold the form of the entire world. Things just kind of pop up, appear temporarily, like illusions, or like a TV show. We're watching a TV show that is played, and then it will stop again at some point. This entire world, all form, is like a pile of dust. If you have a pile of dust and the wind blows in it, it's already gone. There's no more pile of dust. It doesn't exist anymore. So that's form. It's there temporarily, but it's gone in any moment. Then it's no longer here. So then what about the mind? What actually exists within the mind? In the 37 Bodhisattva practices, it says, consciousness is like a guest in a guest house. So the body is like a guest house. So that's something you may be able to understand. So if you have a hard time believing in the emptiness of form, so then what about your body being just like a guest house? Can you relate to that? And then you may say, yes, I can understand that. So if you can understand that, that's actually the best thing to understand. Because our grasping at the body is really the strongest. It's all about the body when we think me all the time. And this is, again, what makes the mind then become like an ice block. So it's good to understand that the body does also not inherently exist. And then, so what about the mind? So we have understood the body does not inherently exist. And what about the self, me in the mind? So when you realize the nature of your mind, the experience becomes like space. And therefore, Longchen Rabcham had said, when you realize the nature of mind, there's nothing higher to learn than that. There's no higher learning than that. When you see the nature of the mind, you see that there is no self. That is the great accomplishment. Then that is how you're able to see the outer universe as the immeasurable palace and all sentient beings as the deity. And how do you see them as the deity? It is because you know that forms do not inherently exist. They are like rainbows in the sky. The deity is like a rainbow in the sky. This is how you are then able to see sentient beings. You can see them, but you cannot grasp them like a material thing. So the deity is this union of appearance and emptiness. And if you habituate to this way of perception, a real certainty arises. And then later, when you die, it is just like a film is coming to an end. It is the film, that film stops. There is no special feeling about it. Just the film is over, basically. And then the mind dissolves into space and it remains there. And this is then what we call becoming enlightened in the Dharmakaya. So?
Oh, the Tata Toma Jerem, the Christian Boyore, Jerem Jibate, Hatang Penu Chemboyore, Ta Change, Jenny de Lambe Cemetery, Tikari Chang, Hadi Kawandota, Totale, Jenny de Train, they Jenny de Train, the Jerem, Rang Ludi, Jotadores, Napachatadores, the Lay go Gomba Della. 라들 문에 거다에나라 tan가에나라 하자 이동하면 이 토토바도 거래 가정 맞아도 거다 이도 마음을 짝대는 세부 대화 찾고 말해 적쟁제 발림바디 담부 먹게 대화 차네 라에나라 데에나라 하자 이동하면 먹대는 토를 먹 빠잡도 걸 먹 빠르게 말해 들이 일을 새로랑 사샤로 그래 대회는 진이도 거바디 하자다 침벌디 라사가 조랑 정가대 거바리 아얀데 그 일을 토도 거토마다 대지 설정을 빠져도 소마도라kan 고체디 등용을 뭐지 세모 춘이라 하시오래 대대디 조항 사소세니 이제 대치라 소리 대들이 싸와이나 땅에 소마 조랑 정가디 마시 야정 내가 조랑 정가디 엄마가 낭띵 참아요래 랑정아디야 영랑 땅가 빠지 자고 쓰게 자조면 그 빈자 우고 빠가 자시래 내 코상하지 땅 그 빠자면 다다 서줄 조고 랑정아디 빠고서 그러요 말에 요 말에 대 조고 랑정아디 은혜도 그 빠던데 드링가 소마 가는 때문에 네 빠데 망보지네 참아를 때 아리 로마니 봐 참아를 요래 가자가 조랑 정가지 거바한테로 지내듯이 너무 왔다와는 요 말에 대회 나가서 아치 보지를 삼아 대발이 저기 동화도 이 토도 그래 별로 제대로들 항상 셈을 샤그리 무서워서 셈을 한 지내야 되거든 라로 샤그리 이 시대 다배가 차도 그래 다저 미안도 그래 이저 지내들 들창하도 그래 지가 말이야 나한테 도도도 차대 ngari 참angari서 이 인가다디 하고 라디는 아무도 나유들 라면도 제우 적식성이 대다 차들이 뒤냥 노들이 제는 그냥 노토블 오다 라데 딱 받는 거를 대 하고 그래 대회를 듣지는 님지 받는 들 라데 나데 다른 들이다 라게 셈을 샷하고 요래 바도리에 대샤론 전랑 가리 샤론이야 전랑대 뉴모발에 샤용을 요래 라도 들이든 전랑 고 잡다고 요래 들이 파샤크를 서로 절샤요 말에 라면 내면 저봐 센데게 파라 샤오를 셀레디 맞아봐는 샤오를 들 나리 줄 라샤다로 서로 찾지야 요 말에 이 송소는 뒤량 노트에 하고 그래야지.
And then the generation stage, the visualization of the deity is extremely important. It's a very a good practice to visualize the deity. So now we are visualizing the deity Chenresig. So you bring Chenresig to mind in an instant. And then look at where is you and where is me, the self. It's already gone. If you really think of Chenresig, you are not thinking of yourself. This me is already gone when you think of Chenresig. And by visualizing Chenresig's form, you purify the karmic imprints of the body. So that is why we visualize the deity's form. And as a support for this visualization, we set up a statue of the deity or a tanka of the deity. And so that image of the deity also cannot be anything. It has to look very nice. It has to be a beautiful image, a real representation of the deity, not just any kind of scribble, but it has to be really pleasing to the eye, because our mind has to connect to it. We have to be able to approach this form and nurture our mind with it. And for that, it has to be also appealing to the mind, since the mind has to go there. So then when you look at the image and you bring it to your mind, it is just like you're taking a picture and then have that image, that picture appear in your mind. And so this image that I have distributed of Chenresig, the original Chenresig image that I have distributed, it's called the five-fold Chobo Chenresig, that comes from the Chobo temple in Lhasa. So there's the statue of the five-fold Chobo in the temple in Lhasa. And so during the way I actually got this, I obtained this image. It's a photograph, and that was during a time back in the old days where it was basically impossible for anyone to just go in there and take a picture. It was not even really possible to go in there, and leave alone taking a picture. And so I found a way in there, someone would secretly take a picture for me. So there was Denzin Rinpoche's sister, her name was Drupchen. And so she had a way to get us in there to take a picture. But then also I didn't really know how to take pictures, but my brother Jamgun, he actually knew how to take nice pictures. So he snuck in and was able to take a nice picture of this statue. And then that picture that's the very picture that we then printed and distributed all over the world after I came to the West and met my disciples. So it was close to impossible to take this picture, but we managed to do it. So it's a very special way we received the picture, but also it's a very special form of Chenresig. Actually, it is quite unlike any other form of Chenresig. It's really quite a special image of Chenresig's face. And I really wanted to distribute this picture. I wanted to have this form of Chenresig. And now I have distributed that to all my disciples, and many, especially my older disciples in America, they all have that picture. And this picture is something that can appear to my mind in an instant. I just have to see it and it comes to my mind. It's really the face of Chenresig. And when that comes to your mind, then there is no thought of me, there is no self. So in this way, look at this image, bring Chenresig to mind, and you don't think about anything else at all. If you think of me, you're not Chenresig. And if you're thinking of Chenresig, you're not me. You're not thinking of me. So these two thoughts are mutually exclusive. If one arises, the other one naturally goes away. That's the experience in general to be gained in the generation stage, in the visualization practice. That is why we always have to think of the deity. So when you realize this point, then you will always want to think of the deity. And so when you then think of the deity, day and night, you think of the deity with great venerance, and the mind becomes purified in this way. You no longer think about yourself, and the deity is always in your mind. And then later, when you go into the bardo, normally various confused, terrifying appearances manifest in the bardo, but these are all the perceptions of your inner afflictive emotions, nothing coming to you from the outside. And the moment you think of the deity in the bardo, you stop all these confused perceptions right there, because they're not coming from the outside, because they're coming from within yourself. And they're coming from within your own heart. So when the deity arises within your own heart at that point, then it is just like the sun shining on a crystal, and all becomes pervaded by the image of the deity. So it's shining from your heart, but it's appearing to you like reflections from a crystal ball. And there can be no more affliction, because it's the deity that now arises in your mind. Whatever appears to you actually appears from you, from within yourself, and not from the outside. So when you think of the deity, there's no more negative outside, so to speak, appearances. And this is how you close the door to the three lower realms. So that is the reason of why we are habituating ourselves now. That's the experience we need to gain for this time. That's all.
Trita, Tramiso Jama Yasari, Aneki Serenson, Tabamiso Jara Nanti, come on.
So now let's take a short break, not keep it too long, and take a break first. Yeah.
Oi Mani me hori, oi ma ame me Mani Peme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme 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 Hum. the Drupchen course, Drupchen course, Drupchen, Kakakari, Chintuns, Tantani, Jatan say Drupchen, Nang Gom Juratini, Nang Yaminatini, Nada Samsung, Sanhuji, Sama Yaye Kang, Namju General, Simpson Tamte, Pawakaro, like your course, Yavion said the same as somebody, Trinita. The Lizzie Kaka Chena, Potam Jane, Motam Jepti Roma, or Data, three Abacho and so on. Yavion said, Simba Samari, Simba Samatan, Bokutu Doctor, Simba Sama, Tamjeti, Sancho Samba Chata, Samji, De Samji, De Jelly, somebody, the Kang. My Palayin, some the derivative, this our Mari, they didn't know songs.
So we've been talking about the Drupchen, great accomplishment practice. So what distinguishes the Drupchen from other practices is that they are also on the outer level holding night sessions normally, and so that's on the outer level. But on the inner level, from an experiential perspective, in the Drupchen, we familiarize ourselves with the nature of appearances, sounds, and awareness. So to see all the outer universe as the palace, the deity's palace, and all the inner living beings, all the sentient beings as the deities, the dakas and dakinis, the mandala of the deity, the yaps and the yums, and their offspring, their children. So all appearance is seen as deity. And then if we were to separate them, we could see all the males as Chenresig and all the females as Tara. So it is also said that in the Amitabha practice that from the male and the female then emerge countless emanations. Many bodhisattvas emerge from the main deity. And all of these offspring, they are all bodhisattvas. So when we bring this to mind, if you think that now I'm just fabricating something, it's not really real, but I'm just imagining it's real. If you think in this way, that's actually a mistake. It's not at all this way. That's so?
Oh, Tela Yimbala Shiva, Yimbala Mashiva, she's on the road, the Kang song, the Gong, the Nimbong, Ading, and the song, the Manandi. Lama Chukur Koar, Jinimi move some sort. Lama the Sanje tap the Chukur is. Chukur in a social same day, get the Chukur yins. Get the Chukur in my lantry, Lanti Charam Chaso Mato, get the Chukur way. Oh, say Lama de Chukur, Muledi, Charam Machar, the Koto, Japona Yide or Nakada Yide or the Lama rate. Nine Charam Chason, the Dandino Yide, nine Charam Chason, nine that sound took same Jena. Koto Chipare out there, Yambala Shiva, the tail on the Bagori, Jelly Nasi, Lakor Koachi dinner, Joan and the young Mary, non simply Jula, Judy simply Jula, new Manga, the new one, Mina Yishi, Mamina, methodical sound, Mamina, Kenny, Tatama, Stocktaka Sado or Solado, Mina method you want in your, the same the mean Sanjay. Mamina simply charted There go ready. There is any Lama Chukur Kowarchi, Nimi move for some so. Now see, Lakor Kowarchis, and not getting for some so hazy. The Ramji do the Tabasong, do the Tabasong good day. Doctor said the Kalita was on. Simply have the Jelly Sanji, Mali. That of the quiet watch on. The Kang is that one, your marriage.
So instead, we need to actually see what really is. We need to recognize, acknowledge what actually is. We're not pretending or imagining. It is just so far we haven't really seen how it actually is. So this is what you should remember here. Then Drikung Master Dhammaraja said in a supplication of the five-fold path of Mahamudra, or the five essences. In one verse, he said that when you recognize the Guru as the Dharmakaya, that is the perfect non-dual devotion. So the Guru and all the Buddhas are the Dharmakaya. And on the basis, my own mind also is the Dharmakaya. But on the path, my mind has become an ice block. But that's just temporarily. By nature, in reality, my mind is the Dharmakaya. It is just that the Guru's mind is not frozen into ice. It can stay like an ocean or like the sky, like space, as the Dharmakaya, because it doesn't freeze. My mind has frozen into an ice block because of self-grasping. If I give rise to bodhicitta, I will become just like them, like the Guru and the Buddhas. So you should recognize that this is my true nature. This is what I really am. I'm not pretending when I visualize it. And then another verse by Dhammaraja, he said that when you recognize that all appearance and existence is the form of the deity, you have perfected the generation stage of the secret mantra. So that is to recognize that the outer universe, consisting of the five elements, are the five dakinis, the five mothers. And then within the mind of sentient beings, there are five afflictive emotions. And when they mature, they become the five wisdoms, or the five Buddhas. It is just like the seed of a flower. If the seed of a flower does not ripen, it will just become trash, or it will just be eaten by some insects. It will not ripen and grow into a flower. But the seed does have the quality, the potential to become a flower if it ripens. So if the mind ripens, it becomes Buddha. But if it doesn't ripen, it is a sentient being. So that's the important point to understand here. So again, the verse says, when you recognize the Guru as the Dharmakaya, that is the perfect non-dual devotion. When you recognize appearance and existence as the deity, that is the perfection, the perfect generation stage of secret mantra. And so to recognize what is also shows that, means that the deity is our true primordial nature. It's already there inherently. It's our inherent nature. In Dzogchen, we refer to this nature as the primordial purity. That's the ground, the foundation, the basis of all sentient beings. If you understand this point, then to practice from there, to cultivate this thought, it will not be very difficult. Lassa?
Oh, today, Drupchen chipur kalanyami chipur kap chipur te rogo sari esam te yang mari te norso Drupchen nyamni chipur thamra nyamni chipur kapla kare chiva te nangji tene jete lamla cher gore soke song malari be song gore chun rona nawa lam de cher chodok rang ro de ro lo yi se oh 로는 나와도 남다 나와라도 가르쳐거든. 오 심지 제도 심지 담지 제도 뭐다 로로 심지 담지 오 bao 라리 고소 라 가르리들 고소 적저요 장 적저요 적된데 제랑이 맞아 말이 동나 저막다버리지 고소 제시요래 세부 제시비서 적대 제리 맞다 말이 대하고는 적 맞아 봐시와들 적은 점바미를 나 동사도 라기보다 차보게야지 딱 봐요와도 니 말이지 야 토다어지 낭진 동了东西能的那玩意儿有吧别人亲戚女生有吧你爸有吧对啥跟亲戚的啥的你多的嘛的对不那东啥的生活就得那最近几啊到当统计用人家他们没大把的就这样的那谁是大话的谁不用这些个有的谁对他谁着我的大吉里面哪怕他们写的哪怕就把人写的哪怕就把人写的个人查出过来你们家我们这些的家送啊下用过来我这谁的上就谁的东道上就谁的谁了这谁的仪式感让你用有来的妈咪不搞仪式感的女模王啊来的那个超人着我讲考完了差不多来的他都仪式来的这着我还过来的
But then also if you were to think that, so while I'm in the Drupchen, in the practice, I am doing the practice. And so that's the time when I practice. And only that's the only time. So that's also a wrong way of thinking about it. It's not just at that time when you do the Drupchen, but in the Drupchen, in the retreat, you gain an experience that you then have to bring with you into your daily life, in whatever you do. You have to sustain the experience gained during the retreat. Asomila Ripa spoke about that, and he said that when you walk around, then make all experiences perceived through the 6 sense consciousnesses you practice. And this is the way to practice or take the 6 perceptions as the path. This is how to practice continuously. And so how do we do that? So now in this world, the living beings appearing to us are humans and animals. So wherever you go, whoever you meet, you see them all as Dakas and Dakinis, the deity, they're the deity. Although they have a certain form, that form is a compounded phenomenon, and it does not inherently exist. It appears, but just like an illusion. It is born and it will die, but the mind isn't born and it doesn't die. The body is a compounded phenomenon, and therefore it is impermanent. Therefore, form does not substantially exist in a concrete way. So form temporarily appears, but when there is no grasping at form, you see the appearance of the deity. And the deity also is not a solid, substantial thing. The deity appears just like a rainbow in the sky. It is said that it is apparent, appearing yet empty, empty yet appearing. So it appears, it's there, and what's there are the different powers, the qualities of the deity. The deity's omniscience, compassion, and power to protect us. They're there, but then the deity is not a solid, concrete thing too. It is empty of such nature. So it appears, yet is empty. It's empty appearance. So you can see form on the outer level, externally, but ultimately it is impermanent. It will all disintegrate. What will not disintegrate is the mind. The mind will always stay. And when you see that mind, you see that there is no you and me, self and other. It is like space or like a crystal. for example, like a crystal, like a mirror crystal, whatever comes before it will be reflected, will appear. Or, for example, if the sun rays shine on the crystal, 5-colored rainbow lights will emerge from it naturally. So if the mind gives rise and realizes the ultimate bodhicitta, what manifests then from this mirror is the 5 wisdoms. That is the ripening of the mind. When the mind is unripe, it manifests as the 5 afflictive emotions. Temporarily, like an ice block, one has to wander in samsara. But ultimately, it is primordial wisdom. That is what it ultimately actually is. So that is what we should understand here. Lasso?
Oh, there that Dorje son Sanghave, they ship Yamni Yam the Chepatam, Dorji Pondroze, Dorji Pondro Karek, oh, same good Devati Chaya Yoman, same Cheshi Yoman, Namkata, Namkati, near to Yore, the way Cheshi baby, Dorji, the Ringham don't go Dorji, oh, Rice and Nantia. So one source of Rice and now the Kaduna, same Kaduna, the Yore, same to Namka Kaduna, Yore, now don't go Dorji, the Dracton song Dorji, the died the Dadon, Gigi, top song. Daddy was give a game, many body get it, Rosan control of it. Malari vessel, take up Soncham, but up by Tradu Zubeka Piso. Take the boat, take Galician, 71 Mina, Chol Galician, Palo Dina, no by home. Oh, Chico Cherry, Jelly, Chico, Sticker, Council, Hombre. Then by one of something he was here, Gamagashi. Take a Dadon, Gigi, top of me, just the Dracton song Dorje, Dracton song Dorje, Gonathan, not young talent, young time, he will do the young people chase. This is a Kajak Bay, so woman, woman, they really pure, you is a young day, young the pure, young ticker, addition, Mari young is such a tone, addition, manufacture, Jatamando, or Pure Japando, or Taka, or young take it, die, bo take it, Tijili, do Penny, young chair, take him to same dog, that don't be the top, send the thing up the Madonna, the dark the Kayo Marie, the dying boy, young Marie, Topam Kabakawana, that's it all, they said together, dog on it. Loyang was a long darting, Thomas Sempton and Holdo, the same time, dying young daughter. They're my young god. A lot of that Nimba young Jew, don't go Rinpoche. They were young people, doctrine the doctrine young go by the dates.
Sorry. So and so in the Vajrayana, so we also speak about the 3 Vajras, Vajra of body, speech, and mind. So what does that mean? How do we understand that? There's also, for example, the Vajra brothers and sisters, Vajra siblings. This Vajra here means that there's a connection between our minds that cannot be broken. So once we are Vajra siblings, our minds are connected and they cannot be broken because the mind does not die. It will always abide like space. It's a mind connection. And however long space exists, this mind will exist there. So first there is the Vajra of form. And so the Vajra form is the recognition of appearance and emptiness. So empty appearances are the Vajra of form. It is when the deity appears clearly in the mind, then the thoughts of an ordinary body will diminish. And there is just this clear vision of the mind. So that's really just the mind. And the mind is always there. And then, so that is the Vajra of the mind. And then there is the Vajra of speech, which is empty sound. And when there is no more grasping at any sound, and there is no grasping or kind of interpreting sound, often we interpret sound and then we conflate the meaning of what we think it means and what it actually means. So we misperceive a sound because of grasping at sound. And then often it happens that when we perceive a certain sound as something positive, something nice that we like to hear, and we start laughing immediately. And then if we hear something that we really don't like, we don't find nice at all, then immediately we get angry. Milarepa had said that although harsh words are not physical weapons, their harshness pierces beings' hearts. So, however, if you do not grasp at harsh words, they cannot affect you in any way. For example, if someone insults you and you don't grasp at it, you just say, I wish you well, basically, then that's it. It hasn't affected you. But if you grasp at what you hear, then immediately you will develop a lot of negative emotion within you. And also you interpret what you've heard in a certain way. So you conflate your own perception and what was actually said into one meaning. If you don't grasp, you just see it as empty sound. And empty sound is the mantra. And so regarding the mantra recitation, it's important to recite the mantra in a beautiful melody. For example, we recite the Mani mantra, and some people want to accumulate many Mani mantras, so they accumulate many Mani mantras. And that's, of course, beneficial, but it's even more beneficial to recite the mantra in a beautiful melody. So, for example, if you recite the Mani mantra with the melody, and you still want to accumulate the mantra, you have a mantra count, you can, as you keep singing the syllables of each mantra, you can actually turn one beat for that. So after one mantra recitation, you have already turned a few of those beats because you chant it much slower, but also you chant it in a beautiful melody, so your mind is more focused on it. So probably if you recite the mantra with the melody, then you can kind of count a mala round just as you keep chanting the mantra, basically. So it goes. You don't actually count one beat for each mantra, but for each kind of syllable as you chant, you keep turning the mantra garland. And the reason it counts is because of the beautiful melody that enchants your mind. When you hear a beautiful sound, your mind actually goes there, and that's the point. The mind actually has to go there. When the mind becomes absorbed in the mantra, then it will not develop these thoughts of grasping at sound and conflating the meaning of what is being heard and so on. Then the mind will just stay with the beautiful sound of the mantra. And that is also a benefit of practicing together in a group like this, when a room is filled with people and we chant the mantra together in this beautiful melody, then the mind can focus on it single-pointedly. So it's important that we chant the mantra in a beautiful melody so that the mind can follow it. And Guru Rinpoche has also spoken on that. So he had said that he spoke about the importance of chanting the mantra in a beautiful melody, because this is what makes the mantra or the deity become alive. And so this is what we practice and what we should remind ourselves of during the Drupchen practice. That's so. So the structure of speech is to recognize the emptiness of sound. And so when you hear sound, any kind of conversation, any words, anything that you hear, and you remember the meaning of mantra, that sound is mantra, is empty, you know that whatever it is that you hear, it really has no essence. It's really has no substance at all. You will not develop thoughts of attachment or anger toward it. You will not conflate the meaning of what you hear, and then you won't interpret the meaning. There's no thought like that. Whatever you hear is just seen as emptiness, empty sound. And then if you hear something that might be pleasant, you won't be too elated about it. Or if you hear something unpleasant, it will not upset you in any way. So that's the vajra of speech, the emptiness of sound. And so ultimately, what is it, this emptiness of sound? The ultimate, that of the two truths, the relative and the ultimate truth, it is the ultimate truth of emptiness. When there is no grasping, no fixation to any sound at all, you come to the basic nature of the mind, which is emptiness. As we have said, by nature, on the basis, we are Buddhas primordially. Only on the path, temporarily, we become confused because of grasping in the mind, because we grasp at self and other and so forth, and sounds that we hear. That fixation makes the mind become like polluted water. When you focus and stop grasping at sound and form, then whatever appears is the deity, whatever you hear is the mantra. So that's the vajra of form and the vajra of speech. Then the vajra of mind is empty awareness. So if you stay focused on that, of not grasping at form and sound, not grasping at anything whatsoever, the mind attains a state of non-distraction. And that becomes a space-like mind. There is no thought, an empty mind, an undistracted empty mind. That is the vajra of the mind. So these are the three vajras of body, speech, and mind that we apply during a great accomplishment, a Drupchen practice. So during the practice, we recognize the pure nature of all appearance and existence, that everything is empty. And then once all becomes empty in our mind, within that emptiness, then we find clarity. We realize that this emptiness possesses a clear qualities. There's clear awareness within this emptiness. And this clarity is also empty. So this is also what Milarepa had referred to as first there arises emptiness, as we mentioned before, and then it becomes, this emptiness becomes clear gradually, so clearer and clearer. So that is what we refer to as the great primordial awareness, or the great wisdom awareness. So this primordial awareness, what is this primordial awareness? It is the mind that has become very clear by seeing itself. The viewing of itself has become very clear. This is the dawning of primordial awareness. So when you view the mind, you see, you rest within your nature, it becomes very clear. There's a clarity that expands from that. As you see yourself, you observe a clarity that is actually all pervasive. You become aware of its all pervasiveness. So there is a knowledge that there is nothing not pervaded by this mind, by my clarity. Everything is pervaded by it. And you gain a deep confidence in that. So again, it is called primordial because it has been there since beginningless time. It has always been there. Since space exists, it has always been there. Mind has always been together with space, has been one with space. And if you simply do not engage the mind in grasping and fixating and all these different thoughts arising in the mind, you recognize that awareness within you. And that is what we refer to ultimately as the omniscient primordial wisdom. It's the wisdom within you. And it is said that within the expanse of primordial wisdom, all the Buddhas are one. Even though you may have thousands, millions of Buddhas, they all are one within primordial wisdom. There's only one primordial wisdom, and that is like space. And space is all pervasive. So that is the real meaning of Mahamudra. This term Mahamudra, so Chakya Chembo in Tibetan, this chak part, the first syllable, it refers to emptiness. It refers to the lack of inherent existence, the empty nature of things. And then Chembo, in Chakya Chembo, so this Gya, so Chakya is the Gya is pervasiveness. So this emptiness is pervasive, and Chembo is great. So it means that it's all pervasive. It's the all pervasive great emptiness. That's really the meaning of Mahamudra. So that when you see that, then your mind can just stay with that space-like nature. And that is to recognize the Vajra of the mind, empty awareness. So during Drupchen, we practice to recognize these three Vajras. And also we become our Vajra siblings. And Vajra siblings will always meet each other, will always go together until attaining enlightenment. And when we attain enlightenment, then there is no more you and me. Just temporarily on the path, we continue to engage in bodhisattva activities and cultivate love for all. And ultimately, we all become enlightened together. And so temporarily, how you can see them all is if you see a male with compassion, then he is Chenresig, and a female with compassion, you should see as Tara. So in this way, you're practicing the deity. When you call whoever has love is actually the deity. It's not the form; it's really the mind. So when that arises in your own mind, then that is actually Chenresig. And this is how the mind becomes this infinite field of purity. That's all? Okay, then we stop here.
Single sheet.
A single sheet.
Tamara Yegro Sarvale Wentru De Jinja Nana Yesheba Jin Ran La Nyeme De Dem Tum Bengang Le Drum Le Bamba Yishi De Yar Ye Kang Go Drab Dawa Tam Yong So Zoba Yishi De Ran Nang Le Drab Jia Che Shen Bang To War Jer Nanga Re Re La Yang Da Nye Tou Jie Qian Bo Jian Da Wa Re Gom De Da Tam Ce Ba Re Tu So Re Da Ge Shel Wen Tu Dewa Jian Dang Bo Da Lan Yi Xi Ba Jian Zhang Tam Ce Ba Re La Tem Na Se Tam Che Ye Ge Dun Nga Zha Bong Wa Cang Xie Ba Da Re Wu Ru Da Wa Ju.
I visualize myself as the great compassionate one according to the generation stage. At my heart is a moon disk with the syllable Hri at its center. It is surrounded by the 6 syllables. Light radiates from the 6 syllables and invites the wisdom beings from the pure land of Sukhavati, which merge non-dually with me. From within the state of emptiness, a syllable broom transforms into the vase, a boundless wisdom palace completely perfected with gates, lattices, and archways. Spacious and lofty, it is the natural manifestation of primordial wisdom. The pills inside are inconceivable. Each of them is the great compassionate one resembling myself. Light radiates from the seed syllable Hri at the heart of each Samaya being and the Hri at my own heart, inviting the wisdom beings from Sukhavati and Potala. They dissolve into each of the Samaya being pills. All appearance and existence resound with the sound of the 7-syllable mantra, humming like bees in a beehive.
Oi mane pe me hong shi araba za me ta shin da ya so wa wa hong so wa ma la ma pa tam sarva da Tangada Mahabenza Om Ayundana Mahabuyate Neta Om Mani Pe Me Hongre Arabata Meta Shindaya Om Mani Padme Hum Arabhata Tashi Daya Sova Ahum Sova Malama Panta Sarvata Thangata Mahaben Om Ayunjana Mahabayate Om Mani Padme Hum Arabhata Tashi Daya Sova Ahum Sova Malama Panta Sarvata Thangata Mahapenja Ayunjana Mahabayate Tavo Om Mani Padme Hum Arabhata Tashi Daya Sova Ahum Sova Malama Banda Sarvata Thangata Mahapen Ayunjana Mahapaya Ita Om. Men Sadhana, page 8. Sam Devar Sheba Chujeka Dodo Sentient Kola Chenresig Nam Kadav Chabe Chujesha Zegeva Bamela Swamdalo Mane Soja Jarva Jam So Setanji Kagyu Lama Nam Jen Chudrenda Nimbo Ye Bedom Yuva Shoko Mane Bem Onje Sanje Namje Gonzota Mao Sanje Namje Tsosata Tada Yoba Namje Shabdenda Nyembo Yege Chong Luwa Shoko Mane Emeho Deve Pamado Buddha Nindun Tadore Shendubana Gombo Chenresig Jelanato Deva Chendu Deva Sengelo Mane Bem de la tene chadamo sanje ne do da betele de na go Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Ma Me Hongzhe Ma Zi Xue Be Jian Da Chen Jian Da Me Je Song Be Jian Da Po Mo Na Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Mane Beme Hongzhe Ko Song To Den Lama Gen Dung Go Lo Teze Den Be Sentient Khenpo Chenresig Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Mane Beme Hongzhe De Jo Jalo Banda Menje Cheme Yo Jeng Sem Chawana Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Mane Beme Hongzhe Mege Chodan Samin Apoda Teta Nyena Chupeling Ena Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Ma Me Hongzhe Ngoye Jamola Nasembada Shenpo Sekalam Betendeda Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Mane Beme Hongzhe Shewa Nave Tudame Gento Jeten Kam Jeten De Malupa Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Mane Beme Hongzhe Teshe Moshe La Rocho Roso Geme Geme Pardon Chambana Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Mane Beme Hongzhe Wo Yon Tong Be Ma De Tenzin Da Sha Cha Su Be Sentient Ma Le Ba Khenpo Chenresig Lamnato Dewa Chendo Dewa Sengelo Mane Beme Hongzhe Mancho Kagyu Dan Yu Shen Dong Mando Na Po Me Se Me Ba Na Khenpo Chenresig Jela Nato Deva Jendo Deva Sing Nalo Mane Zang Kam Sam Ngarin Zambele Deja Lang Sam Lentanya Ona Gamba Chine Zejela Najo Deva Chendo Deva Sengelo Mane Pem Sentient Gamba Chenresig Nato Deva Chendo Deva Sengelo Mane Pem Kam Sam Sentient Gamba Chenresig Nato Deva Chendo Deva Sengelo Mane Pem So Jie Xian Kang Ran Jian Ta Len Tenzin Tenpa Ka Sim Jin Gamba Chenresig Nato Deva Chendo Deva Sengelo Mane Pem Tomorrow English, today no enough. Om Beda Sado Samaya Manavalaya Beda Sado Dinova Dita Dindo Mebava Sudukayo Mebava Subajayo Mebava Anurado Mebava Savasite Mebarianzo Savagama Sudan Sudan Jayan Guru Hong Ha 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 Ho Banga Savada Danga Dambeza Mamime Bezurpava Ma Samaya Sadova Oi Dani Rani Lai Zarve Toso Hong Le Wen Chu Lama Ren Zhen Zava Sun Je To Ju Go Tam Je Jin De Pa Tar Sun San La Wan Go Gu Zhu Zo Xie Tre Le Zhe Ba Ju
27. From the life force Hong at the heart of myself, visualized as the deity radiates light, invoking the enlightened mind of the guru, knowledge holders, and three roots. They all appear like billowing clouds and bestow blessings, empowerments, and cities, and perform enlightened deeds. Page 28. Hong, free. From the pure and unelaborated innate state appears the principle and retinue, the self-display of continual compassion. Please send down upon this place the blessings of your body, speech, and mind, and grant me the supreme empowerment of the 5 types of primordial wisdom.
Om Mani Padme Hum Che Mahakaruneka Sarva Sam Om Mani Padme Hum Arapata Metta Shindaya So Om So Sarva Tathagata Mahapen Om Ayurjana Mahapen Yate Om Mani Padme Hum Arabata Metta Shindaya So Om Sofa Malama Bamda Sarva Tathagata Mahapen Om Ayurjana Mahapuyate Etavo Mane Pemeho Arapatam Tarshindaya Take a break.